And we're back with Javier in Dubai. And bada bing. I'm bearding up here, Javier. Bada bing. So how's everything going? Looks like you've been going to a lot of nice restaurants. I saw the Javier Mendez cocktail. Or was that a cocktail or was that like a dessert drink? What was that?
It was a cocktail, and with this new machine that does a picture. That picture was taken within 5 minutes of getting that cocktail with our faces on it. It was amazing. I was like, "What the hell?" Like Starbucks when they put the hearts and stuff. This is your actual face and everything on a picture. Within like 5 minutes, it was right there. I was
So
pretty amazed.
photographic cocktail. That's pretty awesome. That's
There was no cocktail. There was no drink in it. It was a soft drink more than anything.
yeah, it just looked like an ice cream kind of milkshake almost. I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
I know you don't really drink, so I knew that probably
No,
was an alcohol cocktail. I'm like,
no,
why would
no,
you?
no, no. No,
Yeah.
I don't drink.
So how are things in Dubai? You having fun getting out meeting with your friends?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of friends, a lot of brothers. I keep saying friends. I meant brothers.
Brothers?
Over here, when someone's a real brother, it's a brother. So when you call a real friend, we call each other brothers over here. So I'm learning the how to pronounce. Habib's been doing it for ages. That's what they do, and no, we're brothers. So yeah,
Kind of keeps it simple, doesn't it? Keeps it
yeah,
simple. Sets a
yeah,
standard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I saw you saw Habib. He took off. Is he coming back, or any of the guys going to come see you while you're in Dubai?
Not that I know of. No, no, not that I know of. No, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the fights.
Yeah.
So what did you
Well,
think?
first fight we should talk about is Rosas, right? The hype about him. Is it real? Is it not real? Did he have too much to chew on the first real test?
Went in and he looked like he was going to win in the beginning. He was going hard, but the other guy figured out his mojo. I mean, he's rather young, and I think at 18 years old, you're going to have only so much of a base of knowledge. You might have strength, you might have will, you might have ego, you might have confidence, but I mean, how much technique can you get at 18 years old? I mean, where do you think the peak minimal age is for a guy to be a champion? If we look at someone like John Jones being the youngest, right? Where do you think the
Well,
minimum age?
well, I mean, in boxing, Wilfredo, Wilfredo was it Benitez, right? He became world champion at age 17 in boxing, and
Right.
boxing has been it's been a lot around for decades, actually centuries, right? So, it can be done at a young age. It just depends on the maturity, and was Rosas mature enough for where he was at? I know that every time I seen him do his interviews, he was like very, very confident. Maybe everybody around him was very confident, and sometimes when people basically give you that much and you believe into all that, and you're not proving it by doing the work, it can backfire on you. And then this sounds like this is one of those particular cases where he went out, from what you're saying, he went out a little too hard, and then the other guy caught on because he's more relaxed, more focused. Whereas one was, I'm a star, I'm a star. The other one is, I got to prove I'm a star. And by beating this kid, I will prove that I'm the guy to be looking out for. And apparently that's what happened. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. I didn't see the fight, so I can't analyze it like you can because you did.
Yeah, well, Christian Rodriguez, stifled him, figured him out, and then I could tell like he didn't have Rosas didn't have anything for him towards the last two rounds. At the beginning, he smothered him, was doing a lot of takedowns and all this stuff, and you know, but he was able to counter. Christian Rodriguez countered and was trying to get him up on the feet, and he was more comfortable on his feet. So that's what I saw. That was my takeaway. It was a pretty good fight overall. Let's see what else. What other fight? Who looked good was Kevin Gastelum. He made a comeback. He looked great. He's been out for a while. He fought Chris Curtis.
Yeah, and the thing about that is some guy was asking me about who I pick on winning, and I picked against Kevin, which I didn't want to. I was like, no, I think Kevin. I go, man, he hasn't been doing well, and Curtis has been doing pretty good. So I said I slightly favor Curtis, but I didn't want to go against Kevin. I was like, no, I don't want to go against Kevin. So I did. Now I hear that he won, and I'm like, well, okay, he must have got his mojo back because for the last few fights he's lost his mojo. And Curtis is a really top-notch fighter. So Kevin Gastelum must be apparently be back. Good for him. He's a good guy, you know. And
He was a world
yeah,
beater. Kelvin's a likable guy. And you said
very
Kevin. Yeah,
likable.
yeah. Kelvin, it throws us off. Like I almost call him Kevin sometimes too.
No, Kelvin. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. And then what else was there? That was a good fight. There's
Howard
another. Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
against Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one right there. The guy that came out to get some wrestling from you guys, Kevin Holland versus Santiago.
Yeah,
Yeah, Holland definitely won that one. He finished that fight. He,
dude, he's a
he
badass striker. And if people didn't get how good of a striker he was when he went with Wonder Boy, then you know you're missing the boat because hey man, he did really well with Wonder Boy. And Wonder Boy is the best striker in MMA UFC history in my opinion, stand up wise, he's the best I've ever seen. I mean, other than Demetrius, I might have to say that pure striker. Wonder Boy had the best resume as a pure kickboxer coming into the sport. And Kevin Holland did incredible with him. He's really fun to watch. First time I watched him was that fight, and he lost that fight, but I was very impressed with him. And he's fun to watch. So I'm not surprised because I thought he was the sharper of the two. From watching them, I thought he was the sharper of the two. So I picked that one. So I did get that one correct.
I will. Okay, so Rob Font came out. He looked great. Adrian Yanez was putting it on him a little bit in the beginning. Adrian looked like another. They were kind of like equally, powerful punchers, real precise, right? But Rob Font got his number, man. He KO'd him in the first round.
It's funny. I went up against Rob Font. And I didn't see the other guy. I didn't know anything about him. So the guy that asked me on betting, I bet against Rob Font, and I go, Rob Font's got everything. But I went against him. I said the other guy because everybody's hyping up the other guy, and I didn't even know. I never even seen this Giannis kid, so I don't even know. So I went with him, so I lost on that one. So needless to say, I went 50 for 50. So for people that want advice on who to bet on, don't come to me. The only one I said that I was for sure I thought would win for sure, and I thought that was Gilbert Burns. I thought for sure I thought he was the heaviest favorite out of the ones that I thought. I said
after seeing his Hazmat fight and seeing how he moves and the wear and tear that Jorge's been through, Jorge's done great. But your time is your time, right? It's like,
well, isn't Jorge 37 or 38?
I'll tell you how old he is. Yeah, he's 38 years old.
Yeah, and when's the last time he actually won? He didn't get knocked out by Usman, the champ, Kamaru, and then who else beat him? Covington beat him, right? So he was on a 2-fight losing skid, wasn't he? Or 3?
He left with 4 fights lost. He kind of went, on the unfortunate.
So he's on the downward spiral, and
yeah.
And he's focused on his business, and he's a very, very popular fighter. He's a cool ass dude. I don't know him, but
I like him.
You like listening to him.
Yeah.
You like watching him. You like rooting for him.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Let's face it. His heydays are past him. Obviously, because if they weren't, he wouldn't have retired. The guy's been around since the Kimbo Slice days and the street fights. And he was fighting guys twice his size street fighting. And this guy's a badass dude, man, all the way through and through. He's a G, man. He's a G. Much respect to him. No disrespect on anything that in his career. I mean, he gave it what he had, and he's beat the best and he's lost to the best. So he's had a great career, and I'm sure every fan that's watched him, or anybody that's watched him is a fan of his. Like I said, I don't know him personally, but I'm definitely a fan.
Well, Jorge. I mean, he had quite a few fights in his career, and he was having them on the street before he even got there. I mean, what's he got, like 40 fights or something? 35 and 17 he's got. Come on, that's 50 fights.
Did he fight with Josh Thompson at one point? I don't remember. I thought he did in San Jose. I thought we fought him. I don't remember. But did he? Look to see if Josh Thompson is.
I'm looking, man. It's like KJ Noons. We're talking old school Louis. Yeah, Gilbert
Maybe
Melendez.
Maybe it was KJ Noons that Josh Thompson fought, and that's where I saw maybe Jorge fought KJ Noons, and I was thinking maybe Josh Thompson, but not. So did he fight Josh or not?
I don't see Josh in the lineup now. Damian Maya, Ben Askren, Stephen Thompson. It's like, yeah, I mean, he went out like he was people wanted to watch him. He moved the needle. So they let him stay on past the typical 2 loss. But good luck for him in his retirement. I'm sure he'll do great.
He's got a successful promotion too, his Masvidal boxing promotion. So he's got a good concept, and he had good publicity on his fight. And I mean, he's a needle mover. So, like you said, he had a great career. A great career. And he's fun to watch, and he got great highlights, and he's been a great highlight, for other people. So, I mean, that's the fight game, right? You get sniped or you snipe somebody. He's done both.
So you saw the ending on how Israel put out Alex Pereira. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw the ending, and Izzy was right from the get-go, dog collar, woof, woof, I'm coming, I'm getting mine, all heads will roll type scenario. And he had that mentality of, I'm going to take care of business, I'm done talking, blah, 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 I'm up for the challenge. He went and proved that. The little bit I saw, I saw, him getting hurt a little bit. Not much. He wasn't hurt. Sorry, take it back. He wasn't hurt. But Alex was pressuring him, and I was like, whoa, Alex, slow down, slow down. In my mind, I'm going, slow down, a little bit too over anxious there, because he wasn't hurting him at all. And Izzy just kind of sucked him in, and he covered up, sucked him in, and boom, boom, and I thought personally that it was one of those scenarios where Izzy wasn't hurt whatsoever. It looked to me from the little short bit I did see, Alex was over anxious. And I would have been screaming at him, slow down. I can give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A long time ago, Mike Swick, he had a fight with the Brazilian guy. There was a police officer. God, what's his name? Shoot. He was a UFC fighter.
The grappler. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
No, he wasn't a grappler. He was more of a striker type base like guy, but he was a police officer. And Mike Swick was fighting him. Mike Swick hurt him. And Mike Swick went rushing in, and I'm like, no! All of a sudden, boom! Mike Swick was out. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Slow it down. You get over anxious. You think you got something, and the guy's setting you up. So Izzy wasn't hurt whatsoever. He was just, and his determination was hey man, this is a guy that all odds were against him. 0-3, and he got knocked out the last 2 against this guy, and he had a lot going against him. So, he rolled the dice on himself, and he came out victorious. And to be honest with you, he was so amped up that he pulled that little thing at the very end where he fainted and I'm going, what's that all about? Well, then they showed what it was all about. And he said what it was all about. It was in retaliation to his son. He pointed to not his son, Izzy's son, but Alex's son, because I guess when he got knocked out in 2017, the little 4 or 5-year-old pretended like he fell dead. So Izzy pointed at the boy and went dead. And I'm going, there's a little something wrong with that. I mean, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, if you're going to threaten,
it was like 4 or 5 years old. But what I'm trying to say here is he was that much into this fight, on winning this fight, that he even had that going against him, that he wanted revenge on the little 5-year-old who's probably now 5 years later, maybe he's 12, maybe 11.
Yeah,
11-year-old. He's pointing at an 11-year-old and he's falling down.
Yeah,
okay.
That's
I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that he won the fight. Like him or not, he had a lot of demons inside, a lot of payback inside, and he wanted that redemption. And you know what? Kudos to him. He got it. What are you going to say? I mean, much respect. He's a great fighter, one of the greatest, if not the greatest middleweight. I can probably say, based on what he's done, he's probably the greatest middleweight of all time.
You know what? Look what a gentleman you are. Unlike other people, you're a gentleman talking about other teams. Great job there, Javier.
Well, I don't know about that.
You know what I'm saying?
In
the ring is different. In the ring, it's different, right? Look, we're not looking for anything salacious on this channel. But, I mean, to do that with a kid, that kind of bugs me. It's like Mike Tyson flipping off a 10-year-old out in the crowd after knocking out his dad. I'm like, that's messed up, dude.
No, that's messed up. But at the same time, too, that just shows how much of a warrior he is and how much this fighting means to him. So although I don't respect that part, how can I ever condone that? And to be honest with you, I don't think he condones it either, but it's just it bit him, it got him. He was caught up in the moment, and he just, oh yeah, you were that little kid that played that. I mean, that's how bothered he was by being knocked out by Alex. So, but nobody's talking about that. No one's talking about that because, he's earned his right to do what he wants, to be honest with you. And like I said, to me, he's the greatest middleweight of all time. And that right there put him over the top for me.
At the end of the day, may the best man win. And whoever's got the skills, wins and pays the bills. That's just how it goes down. Yeah, you've always liked his style.
Of course. He's always been one of my favorites, still is. And
you've always told me behind the scenes too. Even working on the podcast.
Yeah. No, I've always loved watching him. He's a tactician. He's calm, but this is the first time he went in angry. And I thought, well, man, I wonder if this is going to hurt him. So I kind of favored Alex a little bit because Izzy's lost 3 times to him. Izzy's been fed. He's had a great career. He has good money. And Alex is just getting used to, building his market. He had confidence going in his side. But, in all honesty, it turned out to be a overconfident versus, Izzy trying harder than he should have. Because realistically, had he stayed relaxed, Alex stayed relaxed, he wouldn't have ran into that. But he was too much reminiscent of the last one. Because if you notice, almost the same technique when he comes in with that knee and he throws the punches. It was almost the same. Like, I got you again, sucker. But Izzy wasn't hurt this time, though. He wasn't hurt at all.
Izzy was a genius move. I got to respect what he did. He set him up. It was like it looked like everything was going. It was like calf, punch. Ooh, I got him cornered. Here we go. We're gonna lay down the hammer, and then Izzy was rope-a-doping him. We going back to the old Muhammad Ali technique, where Foreman's swinging on him, and he's up against the ropes, right? Where waiting for him. And then once the guy drops his hands, he's like, bow, 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 finishes him up.
I'm betting his corner. If you can hear his corner, I'm betting Alex's corner was telling him, slow down. I don't think they were encouraging him to keep going because they could see that Izzy wasn't being hurt at all. So I bet you, if you can hear their audio, they're saying, slow down, back off, be careful. Because he was going too much, too amped up. Let's go. I'm going to finish you. And, but that's the corner's job, right? Slow him down. So from the little bit I saw, if I was working that corner, I would have been thinking the same thing that I'm believing his corner was thinking. Slow down.
He was like, hey, I'll be champ again. Hey, we get number 4 out of the, whoa, wait a second. It's like they both had knockout power.
Oh, yeah.
Now I don't know if this holds it up. Does this make this a quadrology? Or, does this let someone like Hazmat come into the game, which I would.
Well, if you base it on what Dana's saying, it makes it Hamzat coming into the game or Colby Covington coming into the game, because if you read what Dana's saying that Alex is not going to be going to the middleweight. He'll going up to light heavyweight. So it all is going to depend on Alex and what the UFC wants. Look, listen, anybody can want what they want. Like me, myself, I know too. My fighters can want what they want. But listen, if the UFC doesn't agree with what you want, you don't get what you want. We all have choices. You can accept this fight or not accept this fight. Then the UFC has their choice. So it's a bargaining decision back and forth. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't fit the UFC model, they're not going with you. You're not going to control them. They're not. And that's what great companies do. They don't let the fighter control. They don't. And of course, the fighters have to try to get up the most they can for him. Like, for instance, Ngannou. Ngannou was out there trying to get the best deal for himself, and the UFC was looking for the best for themselves. Well, it didn't work out. So both sides didn't come to an agreement, and let's see what happens from that point. Because in Ngannou, if he's smart, he'd make, 50 to 100 million fighting Tyson Fury. That's what I would do. Make your payday.
Sometimes you're the A side or the B side. In this condition, he's B side. But if that boxing match comes about and they can't find anybody and it's long enough, eventually you become valuable again. You might temporarily look like you're out of options. Like, you're going to go downhill.
I think Ngannou left on the A side, and I think the UFC let him go on the A side because they could have kept him if they really wanted him. And I think they realized, okay, go ahead, but we're not willing to let you have that kind of agreement with us. So good luck, And now Ngannou's done his thing. But if you want my opinion, how long has it been since Ngannou's been missing in action? How long?
I don't know, 6 months, something or more.
You sure 6 months or
I
a lot
don't
longer than
know.
that? When's the last time he fought Gone? He had surgery. He had this. How long has it been? I can almost count almost a year since he's been out of action.
Really? You're probably
and
right.
When did he not come to an agreement with the UFC? When did they part ways?
I'll find
January?
out. I'm going to find out right now. Last fight, Cyril Gane, that was in 2022 January. Yeah.
It's like I thought, and they parted ways either in January or December. So basically, he hasn't fought in over a year. Okay, that's a year away. So he's what, 35, 36 now?
Yeah.
So he's got to get going. He's got to get going. So
36.
Whether he fights bare knuckle, whether he fights Tyson Fury, whether he fights another MMA promotion, who knows? But the clock is ticking.
Yeah, it's you're ticking,
right. So he's a free agent. So man, I'd be making the killing out there if I was him. I'd get his manager or himself make those deals because he's on the A side right now, still on the A side. He's still on the A side. He's an A side no matter what. He's an A side right now. But the longer it goes, the A side diminishes.
Yeah, that's just how it goes, man. It's like make some movies, stay relevant, do something. You can't just vanish. I mean, fame is, like they say, it's 15 minutes. You get 15 minutes of fame, and when it's all combined together, your highest peaks, and then it diminishes. I mean, that might have changed now that we have social media, but it doesn't just stay. You don't just stay on top of the list where, like, no. Okay, we're done with that. We'll tune out.
No,
so
it doesn't stay.
Any fights or anything you're going to be watching over in Dubai? Anything coming up for you?
No. I'm just working the business, doing the IMX power import business, and I also started another business, another trading business with my docking crew, and then Infos. We've been here doing business, meeting a lot of people and trying to get business sorted out. We got some good bites, here and there. So let's see. I'm trying to become the coach, the businessman, the family man, the all-around man, even the podcast guy,
and the podcaster.
Try to make it all work. The entrepreneur. And the only thing that I don't want to be is I don't want to be the seminar coach. I don't really want to be the things related to martial arts, like motivational speaking and martial arts type thing. I like motivational speaking, but I don't like all that traveling. So that isn't going to happen. And, we got some things working on. We got a pilot for a reality show that they're waiting for me to get back. I had a book deal that my lawyer told me at the present time is not the best thing for me. So I canceled a book deal that I had agreed on, and I agreed on it. And then I had to back out because my lawyer said back out. So I said, I'm sorry. My lawyer told me I had to back out. So I'm like, but that's okay. I guess, documentary style things are not right now, are not the hot thing. Book items are not hot, I guess.
But, documentaries in a sense are not. It's people want to see you on a podcast. They want to see what's really going on. They want to hear the story about the podcast you did, or they want to see you on the podcast. That's what's changing. It's changing in all media. Media is all going towards YouTube, Hav. I mean, I have friends in the media game leaving radio and television because it's all going to YouTube. Here we are.
Well, you woke me up to that fact. You talked to me about Mr. Beast, and I looked at him, and last I looked, he had 133 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And on some of his videos, the Squid Game had 340 something million views. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, that on a short little 15, 20-minute video, this guy, the Mr. Beast, he's the number one guy in all YouTube. He's bigger than many networks. Bigger, this guy.
Athletes, whole football teams, whole football league, the whole everything, the whole team, everything.
Yeah. Remember we were talking about Jake Paul and Logan Paul. They got 20 million subscribers on YouTube, and everybody's going, wow, you know, and it is. It's a lot. It is a lot.
Well. It's well
It is.
from us
It's
at
a hell of a
132,000.
lot.
It looks like
Yeah,
wow. It looks like Mount Everest, and it is. Yeah, but
it is.
this is a mountain bigger than Mount Everest. Looking down
So
at Mount Everest.
what is Mr. Beast? What is he? 135 million. If those guys are Mount Everest, what is Mr. Beast?
He's the moon. He's up on the moon, dude. He's
Mars.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to let this upload, you know, and let's see what. Hopefully, when you get back over here, we can start doing like Ask Coast questions because the stream wouldn't permit it if we tried to do live stream doing fan questions.
Well, hopefully this one turns out well.
Yeah. Let me hit end recording.